There is a new attacker engine in town and it has the Ellen mains talking. All 4 of us. People are asking, is Hugos engine good on Ellen? Well, let's talk about it. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Hako. Have a big hug friends and I hope that your week has been good. It's been a few days since my last upload and rumors has it that since I got M4 Lycon when I was trying to invest into my lighter, I quit playing. I'm just kidding, there's no such rumors, but that did happen and I'm a little bit salty about it. But instead I've been busy with my basement since the end of last week, because I walked downstairs last Thursday and I discovered that my entire basement was filled with what my other neighbors down the entire street had been flushing down that night. It's been a lot. So sorry, but I'm back properly now, most of that is handled, so back to like normal schedule. So let's talk about Hugos engine. Is it good on Ellen? And the simple answer is yes, it is a very good engine for Ellen. Now, Myriad Eclipse has a whopping 24% crit rate, high base attack, 45% crit damage after you do an EX special, chain attack or ultimate and you deal ice damage with it. You also ignore 25% of an enemy's defense for 3 seconds. Now this one isn't bad for Ellen, it's a very good one. But a question I've been getting a lot and that I haven't been able to answer until now is like, is it an improvement over Ellen's own engine? And short answer, no, but there is a caveat. So I was on the creative beta servers for Hugo, I got to try him out a bunch and did a bunch of testing with him, different teams, etc. Made a Hugo guide, the link down in the description. And when I was done with that, I was gonna sit down and like, try out this engine even more on Ellen. Only to find out as soon as Hugo went live, the test server shut down, so I couldn't. But I had done most of my testing with this already to like come to my conclusions. And my conclusion, this one is not good enough to like for me as an Ellen main to pull on to improve my Ellen, because in most scenarios it is not an improvement. And in the scenarios where it's an improvement, it's not that much of an improvement. Now the biggest problem with this engine is, the same problem that I myself have. It lasts for a very short time. The effect for this is 3 seconds, which for Hugo is perfect because he doesn't need more. For Ellen, we'd like more. Had this been 5 seconds or something, I think it would have been way ahead of her own engine. But the short duration of it makes it a little bit lesser than her own one. Now, mind you, if you only take snapshot between these engines, Hugo's engine does look quite impressive. From my testing, on like a normal basic attack combo without Hugo's additional buff active, you do slightly less on your freeze trimming, but you do a bit more once the buff is active. Although once again, the buff doesn't last too long on Hugo's engine. And the ultimate activates Hugo's engine, and I did see about an 11% increase in like ult damage, which is like very, very good. So if we only like, take snapshots and compare, Hugo's engine wins out. But what I like to do, first I theory craft and I see what's better on paper, and then I also take it into action and I see what's best in reality. Quite often you will get a different result, if you just take one thing completely like cut off from the world, but then when you factor in the world, the result changes, and so it is with Ellen's engine as well. Now on the creative beta servers we had 9 deadly assault bosses up, and I pitted Ellen against, anybody that kind of made a little bit of sense. And in all of the cases, Deep Sea Visitor, Ellen's signature engine won out. The one caveat where it doesn't is a stage like the marionettes that can buff ice damage by, is it 50%? Paired up together with lighter. Now the stage, together with lighter, gives you an absurd amount of ice damage, which like kind of gives you a diminishing return of the ice damage of Deep Sea Visitor. So in that case, the buff that you got from Hugo's engine and the extra crit damage made it pull ahead ever so slightly. But on all other content, Deep Sea Visitor won out, also kinda slightly. We are talking 45,000 with Deep Sea Visitor compared to 43,000. And this testing was done on M0 and M2 Ellen. Now I will however say that I wish that I could have tried out like more niche teams, but the way I play Ellen and kinda with like normal like supporting cost on Ellen, Deep Sea Visitor won out. What I would have liked to do was like try, very niche things, like say a Caesar with like a fully refined spring embrace together with an M4 lighter, and then maybe even slap on like energy regen discs on Ellen, and just like see what happens if we can like constantly do our EX special attacks. We can get like a much higher uptime of Hugo's engine. Maybe then it would have worked. But there is also like one other playstyle where Hugo's engine wins out, and it's, what should we call it, burst damage Ellen. You can play Ellen so that like she only basically comes in a stun window, so you play her like if she was Hugo. And in those cases, Hugo's engine will win out, but that is not how you're supposed to play Ellen. Like you will get better results if you field her more, because she can make decent work even outside of stun windows. There's also another thing that is very nice with Ellen's engine. Now, it has so much crit rate, it is ridiculous. It has 44% crit rate. So if you're thinking about upgrading your Ellen, grabbing Hugo's engine, I personally would not recommend it. Although, once again, I unfortunately didn't have enough time to do full testing. I'd say that I got around 80 to 85% into my testing. So like it's, fairly decent. I'm fairly confident. And if you know me, I'd jump at any chance to like improve my Ellen. But yeah, Hugo's engine is not it in my opinion. However, if you don't have Deep Sea Visitor and you want to power up your Ellen, Hugo's engine is without a doubt her second best in slot. So it is by no means bad on Ellen. But it's not the big upgrade that I was initially hoping it might be for her. And while we are on the subject of Ellen, as you know, I'll take any excuse to talk more about Ellen. I got requested in the Discord to do some testing out between a disc for attack percentage and a disc for crit damage percentage. Now I did that testing on the creator beta servers because we kind of have free resources over there. But the conclusion of my testing over there is that crit damage wins out over attack percentage by around 3%. Which puts it in the realm of if you have attack percentage with godly substats, use that. But if they're equal, go crit damage. And if you're interested in more ways to optimize your Ellen, I have so much goddamn Ellen content on the channel. Some of it is pinned down in the description. Otherwise, if you just, search in Hako and Ellen, I'm sure a bunch comes up. So yeah, everybody, since the patch dropped, this is probably the most asked question, I've received. And due to a poopy situation in my base, I haven't been able to fully bring my answer to you people until now, so I'm sorry about the delay. But shit happens, eh? So everybody, let me know down in the comments, did you by any chance go for Hugo's engine and have you been using it on Ellen? If so, what's your thoughts? Remember, all that you've heard now is my opinion, my testing, my experience. We're all vastly different. And one of the best things of putting content online is, I get other people's perspective on it. So let me know, did you go for it? Are you happy with how it's performing? Are you unhappy with it? And do you think that Ellen is getting buffs in the 2.0? If I was a betting man, I would bet some on it. We'll see on Friday. And I'll be live streaming the live stream, so if you have time, join us for that. But thank you so much for watching. Have a big hug. Until next time, Hako out.
Bounce off her curves, she's got the body that swerves and serves. In the city, she's the queen, titties like you've never seen. She's pixel perfect, tall and pure, simply dream. She's breaking through electric hearts, so skipping beats. She's got those speeds that can't be beat. Tammy titties, lines so bright, bouncing through this neon night. Pixel skies and curves of prize, all I see are T's in the skies. You'll see, also vibe is real, T's that make your circuit feel.